watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience. So, hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, "Oh, we have
just for the indies."
Just for the indies, yeah. I was like, we have got a lot to do.
Hey guys, what's going on,
everybody? I know once again it's still Comics Collectibles with Rex
and John
and nobody. I just want to do like a graphic where it just says "and John," but it's like pencil written in Sharpie. Before we get started, I just finished a huge helping of Crow. Last Wednesday, if you watched the show, you know I like to start the show with hashtag NCBD. What's in stores this week, and I told everybody to go out and buy these two very good books from Dynamite
and Peggy. We're gonna have some fun with JD tonight. You might have found them a little difficult to find unless
you have a DeLorean. These will be in stores this week, and we'll talk about them a little bit more on Wednesday. But this is Vampirella 22. And Elvira Meets Vincent Price, #1.
So John was having some problems with his flux capacitor, and went too far back in time.
I did,
and told you all to go out and buy books that were not available yet.
I'm super sorry. A lot of you guys have made it clear, especially on Twitter, that I should know what week.
You think a man with this many watches would be able to tell time? I'm just saying.
No, I use my phone to tell time. You know that.
I said that. It's a fashion statement. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with telling
Most
time.
Most of these don't even work. It's been 3:30 for like 4 years, man.
Well, it's right twice a day.
It's right twice a day. But I am sorry, you guys. Shoot down your LCS on Wednesday. Those books are going to be there. Full disclosure, I read them a week ago. They are just great. I mean, there's not, I usually talk about this on Wednesdays on Twitter. Vampirella's most consistently solid read, along with like Daredevil in the industry. You go back Vampirella 10, 20, 30 years, it's a consistently good read. And that reminds me a little bit of how Daredevil is in Marvel. You pick an era, you grab an issue of Daredevil, it's a great read. That's the way Vampirella is.
So what we've determined is John is batting 500. He's correct. Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, but he may not be able to tell you which comics are actually coming out that Wednesday.
I hope this was the first time I did that. It was the first time I got called out for doing it. So do I see people showing up there?
We got Dave and we got Ron.
Hey, Dave.
Is fashion is worth more than knowledge? ? From Dave.
Absolutely.
According to John, yes. Because 3/4 of the watches he owns, you can't even tell the time. There's so much going on there. Okay, there's so many hands and dials. He could tell you the time on Mars.
The one that drove my wife nuts was
Hey Wilfredo,
I had this Fossil watch for like Superman's like 75th anniversary, and it flashed the S logo. And every time it flashed the S logo, you can never see what time it was. So she'd have to wait like a turn signal. That watch disappeared, and I didn't find it for like a year. I was like, oh, it must have been packed away. I'm like, yeah. All righty, let us start with we're here to sell you stuff now. We
sort of are.
Well, we sort of are, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's
But if somebody wants to talk about cheesesteaks, beer.
No. I just realized this is a horrible shirt to wear for this show. We're trying to sell people comics, and I'm wearing a shirt that calls No Sell the World.
As opposed to that orange shirt you had that one time?
The orange shirt is, I don't know what happened to that shirt.
Your wife probably threw it out. My ophthalmologist says that
it was lost
the searing burning in my pupils should recover in another 2 to 3 weeks.
People wondering what no sell the world means, hit me up on Twitter. It's a pro wrestling thing. Because
this man has so many hobbies.
Because I'm here, we're going to start with something from Green Hornet.
I put it on there for John.
To the shock of many. I want to get this out of the way so that we can sort of focus on what else is going on. This is Green Hornet number 4, the black and white variant, which is so cool. And this one is signed by Mark Waid. Mark Waid just had a great run on Green Hornet. We have 2 of these.
3.
No, we have 2 because this one's mine.
All right, so here we go. So suggested retail is $49.99, but we're going to do it for $19.40. Why? Because I'm hoping this sells out. John doesn't get one.
Call it quick before John.
So right away, I'm going to $19.40. Hopefully, we sell this out and John doesn't get one. Because watching John whine is half the fun of doing these shows.
It is, right?
It is for me.
The last thing Nick needs is me knocking on his door at 3 a.m. Can I have the keys to Dynamite?
Is anybody in there?
We've talked about this before, and we're not going to rehash too much. But last year, getting signatures wasn't the easiest thing in the world.
Let's see. What's Dave say? Hey, best meatball sandwich you've ever had, go.
Best meatball sandwich I've ever had. Wow. Off the top of my head, I'm probably going to go with that's still in business, Tony's Baltimore Grill in Atlantic City.
Did you just mention that?
I did. You
were going to run out for like some sort of hot sausage thing or whatever, but they were closed, and your wife
literally
put the kibosh on it.
This place has had a connection to my family since the day I was born. My father and his brothers were down there having a glass of beer and a pizza, and somebody called the payphone to say, "Hey, this guy's wife was just taken to the hospital."
If they're calling the payphone at the bar,
that's how old this story is. And they were like, "Hey, someone let him know that his wife just got taken to the hospital." And that's how I was born in the Atlantic City.
So your dad finished the pizza, finished the beer, and then went to the hospital.
You know what? It's really funny. I always asked him, like how I asked him and his brothers. Each one of them had a different time they left. Like my uncle, who actually loved me, said, "Oh, we left right away." My dad was like, "No, of course I'm not going to let a pizza from Tony's go to waste." If you're ever in the area, Tony's Baltimore Grill in Atlantic City. Probably my favorite pizza, definitely my favorite meatball sandwich. But I'll let you know right now, this is like a real joint. When they tell you it's spicy, it's spicy. Don't be like a fainting flower.
I got to tell you that for me, it's this little joint down the street, Skylar's Hoagies. Okay, family-owned joint.
A lot of places like Skylar's.
They have the seated roll, which you can't always get, right? And the portions, for like $8.95, the portion is huge. You $8.95 anywhere else, you get this little tiny half sandwich. So there you go, Dave. What else did Dave say?
There we go.
John's love of Green Hornet puts this book at the front of the line.
It does. It really does.
And a discounted price of $19.40. Let's do our best to make sure John does not get a copy.
I absolutely would recommend this. Like I was saying, signatures are getting harder to get.
They are.
I don't know. This year, once again, a lot of the cons are sort of limited space, limited tickets. People are not doing the schedules they would normally do. So if you are looking for a signature, rather than invest a whole ton of time and money or both, see us. If we have the signature, check our website out. Check any of the dealers on the experience. Someone will be able to help you easier and for a better price than you just wandering over to Chicago, New York, San Diego, and waiting online.
And let us know. If there's something in particular, a particular creator that you're looking for their signed stuff. If we have it, we'll definitely we'll definitely put it on the show. So Jason has joined us. What X-Men do you have? I have to assume you are talking about the Silver Age.
Silver Age stuff. So we actually do have some other stuff too, but why don't we do a Silver Age book?
All right, I'll just run down the list real quick, and then we'll get to them one at a time. So we have the X-Men number 51, X-Men 52, 53, 54, and 55. These are all the Silver Age ones that we have.
Volume 1.
And let's see. Uncanny X-Men 521, signed by Greg Land. Uncanny X-Men 535, signed by Terry Dodson. Also a great signature to get. I'm trying to see if we have.
Yeah, Terry Dodson's a great signature to get. And this is another one.
Wait, I'm sorry. Jim Lee cover for X-Men Forever, signed by Chris Claremont. So I think that's all the X-Men that we have tonight, but we'll get to each one.
We've actually got a decent amount of X-Men tonight. There should be this much
Yeah, no,
Green
I kinda
Hornet. I'm a
loaded-
little
yeah.
offended. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
kidding.
listen, you're lucky I put Green Hornet on there at all. Your teacher should say no sell to John.
No,
Okay.
no sell to John. We're gonna name this some no sell to Nick.
I'm gonna
too.
make one of those for you. Get
You
that
want
ordered.
to put up a book?
Sure, you do it.
No.
No, yeah, no,
We've
we talked about this.
I really wish I had white gloves.
You're
Do
the
we have
van-
gloves here?
No, we don't.
Oh my goodness.
You're the Vanna White of the show. Which
This
one did
is
you grab?
X-Men Volume 1,
Which one did you grab?
issue 51.
Okay, 51, and a presumed grade of 5.5. And we have one. As with all the vintage comics, we try to pick them up where we can to bring them on the show. So generally speaking, unless we end up buying out a whole collection, which is tougher these days than it used to be, we'll generally have one. So we have one, and all the other Silver Ages, we have one.
And they come with the provision of do not let Nick buy these. Nick has a lot of original art from a lot of these books.
He does.
So
actually.
that means he will want to buy these. Do not let that happen. Make sure you get these. What is the MSRP for this?
This is, well, we're selling this one tonight. There's no MSRP
Okay.
on the vintage stuff. But $50. And let's see, yes, presumed grade of, and that's us, presuming the grade of 5.5. So not obviously slabbing grade.
And you're probably not going to find this book, and this will be the case for a lot of these little the Silver Age run we have. You are not going to find these books at this price in this condition.
Yes.
It's like the needle in the haystack. Well, we've already been through all the haystacks, so you're kind of cutting out that time again.
Right.
Now, when people go to cons and shows, I remember being younger and smaller and having more hair and sitting for hours on the floor going through books. They're going through long boxes looking for books. I don't ever want to take that joy away from anybody. Me, I am far too old and heavy to be sitting down at all. But it was time consuming.
Way to sell it, John.
No, but it's time consuming though.
It is.
You
It
know,
is time-consuming.
cons now are condensed. They're probably going to be condensed through the rest of this year. There are cons already talking about 2022 having limited ticket sales or whatever.
Right.
We very much live in a different age for cons and shows and stuff like that. Depending on where you live in the country, people are still masked up. People are still social distancing. You want to make the most of any con or show you go to. If you're one of those people that go to a con or show specifically to get chase books or, fill in Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff, check with us. Check with any of the people that have shows on the experience. They're all retailers, and let them do the legwork work for you. And, when you catch them at the right time, the price is cheaper.
And, keep in mind, I mean, one of the primary reasons we do this is to try to grow the industry as a whole, try to grow the experience as a whole. So, when we found out there was obviously a demand for vintage books, we went out there to get them. I mean, it's not something that we have an inventory of.
It's like a multi-billion-dollar industry now between movies and TV shows and video games and, literally everything. The merch sales are insane. These things all start with comics. This is kind of like the soil that the tree grows in. And we really kind of want to enrich that soil. So we do that by doing these shows where we offer books that, are more expensive out in the wild than we have them here in captivity. I heard someone else use that expression on another one of these shows, too. Just so you know, it's catching on.
Dude, they're copying you. Say you're a trendsetter.
No, that's fine. They can copy it. What we are going to do is
Remark alert?
we're going to jump to a remark alert.
Remark alert.
Because I
Still
absolutely,
no remark porn.
Flashing.
We need that
Oh, no, we
Superman
do.
watching.
Good job, JD. That's nice, man.
I know,
like
but it's
that.
got a
Remark
flash.
alert.
It's got to be like sirens.
It's got a flash.
Kind of like that watch you were talking about.
I don't know if Nick has flash money for the but that might be CGI might be a lot. And if we are going to do CGI, I very much want to look thinner and
It's okay.
younger.
You know what? I'll get an air horn for next week.
This is Amazing Spider-Man 850. This is Nick Spencer, Kurt Busiek. This issue is signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. If you watch this show, you know Ken Hazer and remarks.
We're big fans, obviously.
We are big fans. Ken, there seems to be nothing that Ken can't do. Marvel, DC, Disney stuff like
and doing
Aliens.
And I have to say this: calling it a remark is kind of doing it a disservice because it's not a line sketch or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's
no, I mean
this is sketch,
this is legitimate original art, and we love to use this term. This is entry-level original art. We have original art shows. Nick does one on Friday, and I'll let you know right now, the price that Rex is going to tell you this book will not be the price that Nick will tell you original art is on Friday. So this is a great entry level.
All right. So suggested retail is $89.99.
And that's a good price for this book, to be honest with you.
And tonight, this one is for what we have for $62, and we have one.
You have your certificate, holofoil seal. Ken and unfortunately, I don't know if the lens is doing this enough of a service, but the splash behind Spider-Man it jumps off the page.
And we talk about this at the range that Ken Hazer has. I mean, we had a few weeks back, we had Uncle Scrooge. That was sketched in a gold
Disney
ink pen.
Style and a gold ink pen.
Yep.
Did we have Alien?
Yes,
had Alien done in like a
silver.
Silver. Ken's skills Ken is one of these guys that you should be hearing more about, and I guess because of us you will be hearing more about, but Ken is a name that, like, when you're talking, his name isn't the first one that comes up, but then when you see the remarks, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe how good this work is. Ken is like a heavyweight in this field for a reason.
His connecting covers. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of stuff.
And each cover has its own individuality. Last week we had was it Batman 100 with the Punchline covers?
Yes.
And each version of Punchline was a little bit different. The placement of her freckles, the color of her hair, just extraordinary.
Each one. I mean, although some are similar, each one is definitely unique because they're all individually hand drawn. So,
And if you're looking to collect something unique, if you're looking to kind of get into that original art area, you probably are not going to find pages of original art for $62. This is, you're right. These aren't like a quick sketch, here you go, kid, don't bother me. I mean, there's a lot of hours put into this.
Which silver age did you do? 51, right?
I did 51.
All right. So just to go back a minute, because I did this last time. So just to hold it up, and again, camera does not do it justice, but presumed grade of 5.5. Just give everybody a chance to look at the comic itself close up. So again, we'll try to get as many of these for each show as we can, but we're pretty much at the mercy of what's available in the market at any given moment. And to go back, this one that we have is 50. So, and we have 4 more that will just show throughout the night.
Yeah, well, they'll almost like mining. Silver will pop up here and there.
Yeah, and John will be a little bit more focused now that we got Green Hornet out of the way.
We have two. We have not. Speaking of green, though,
there we go.
Another character of mine, probably my favorite DC character, Green Lantern. People will probably notice the theme. My favorite color is red. No, I'm just kidding. This is Green Lantern Corps, Blackest Night 45, signed by Peter Tomasi, written by Peter Tomasi. Patrick Gleason did the art. There was a point in time where Green Lantern was almost forgotten, and it would cheese me off because we get 19 different Batman books and 19 different Batman movies and cartoons, and Green Lantern was sort of lost.
And unfortunately, the movie didn't help.
The movie was awful. I have no problem saying the movie was awful.
It was bad.
The guy who starred in the movie says it's awful, so I don't feel bad.
So you got to kind of think, but it was.
Green Lantern has been on about a 15-year wave now, starting. We had the kind of whole parallax thing, which attracted readers. It wasn't what I wanted to see, but it was really, really, really well done. And then we kind of have, the Jeff Johns takes over, and we start getting, the Spectrum War and all these other things. The full characterization of Sinestro, who is just, after Hal Jordan, is my favorite character in the Green Lantern mythos.
So $49.99 is the suggested retail, and tonight we have one.
We have one with this nice
at
signature.
$22.
Wow.
in deepest discount.
And you know what? That is a really nice. I did not think I generally don't check the price of everything, so I can be surprised along with the viewer. $22. This is a great price for this. Silver signature right here.
And limited to an edition of, should say on the sorry, 10. Is that right?
Yeah, there's 10 of these.
So 10 of these were signed by Peter Tomasi, and tonight we have it at $22.
Yeah, Guy Gardner on the cover wearing a red ring, which is most
Guys,
appropriate.
that was part of Showcase 22 first appearance of Green Lantern. That's why it's $22.
Ah, we did not know that.
Well, no, that's why you're here to tell us that.
I shouldn't have to, but okay.
Oh, we got a cranky Amy, man.
No,
Now what are we gonna
no.
do? It's John's fault.
Wait a minute. You're the baseball guy. You're supposed to know numbers.
But how does that? How do you figure that? Get back in
Baseball
your
is all about
DeLorean. Go back a week, okay? We'll try this again. What do you want to do next?
What do I want to do next? You know what? Why don't we do more modern X-Men?
Let's do more modern X-Men.
We will be getting back to the Silver Age X-Men. This is
know
X-Men
Jason was
521, written by Matt Fraction, art by Greg Land, signed by Greg Land. Magneto on the cover.
And we have it at 20. Amy is the linchpin.
Amy is the linchpin of this operation. That's exactly right.
And we have this one tonight. We have two. It's limited edition to 55. We have 36 and 37. And it is $29.99 tonight.
Yeah, see, this is sort of, and I know it's like, oh, God, he's mentioning this again. But I keep getting these stories. People shoot them to me on Instagram, on Twitter, about how they went to a con and they invested so much time just trying to get a signature or something like that, and they felt like they missed the whole con. This is a better use of your time and money. You pick these books up now, then you can just do whatever you want at the con. You know, you can follow the mob around as, you know, as a You know what? If you've seen Gail Simone on the floor getting ready to do signing, it's almost like a human swarm, because there's hundreds of her followers that follow her on social media every single day, and they go to where she is. Doesn't matter what the con is, Chicago, New York, Emerald, whatever, and they follow her around. And she, you know, I don't think she's seen a crowd, because everybody gets shoved to the side, and Gail just walks and sits at her thing, at her table. She does her signings. She's a super nice person. But, you know, it's time consuming.
Well, I think that, you know, along with everything else, whether it be flights, you know, vacation destinations, everybody's looking to get out. And I think at least for the first few months of cons, you're going to see people just shoulder to shoulder trying to get, you know. So whatever, you know, you were planning in terms of time that you were going to spend at the con doing whatever it is you were going to do, I would say you have to plan to get less done in more time, you know, for the first few cons, you know, that open up. And again, not discouraging anybody to go. I mean,
I'm actually encouraging people to go.
Yeah,
I'm encouraging them that if they go, to go with the best possible chance for to enjoy.
It just, I guess it depends on what it is that you're hoping to accomplish there, you know, and things like book signings and you know, maybe, you know, pouring through long boxes may not be the most efficient.
I have a friend, a group of us go to San Diego like every year, sometimes every other year, depending on how busy people are. And one of my friends, he goes specifically for this. He doesn't go to Hall H. He doesn't kind of do any of the things we do. We always go see Kevin Smith a couple times. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He spends the entire time in two places: the bar at Lou and Mickey's, and which, by the way, is an amazing steakhouse in San Diego, and the dealer floor. And he winds up with a fairly substantial size box that FedEx has to
I thought you were
ship
going to
home
say
him.
substantial size steak, but go ahead.
Well, that's usually after they kind of kick us out for the day. But you know, that's not probably going to be that much fun for him this year. I mean, we've already kind of had San Diego. I'm not sure what other cons, you know, Dragon Con, whatever, we'll have to see. But I know at Dragon Con, it's difficult to do that in the best of years.
Right.
And unfortunately, this is not, you know, the best of times.
I think we got time for one more before the
We have
break.
time for one more before the break? we have got, you know what? We're going to throw this out here. Right before I post this, though, do me a favor. Like I always, I feel like we forget to mention this sometimes. Please like, subscribe, follow, friend us, hit the notification bell so you know when we're on. And please, if you like what we're doing, share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with the different groups, the chat groups, the comic groups that you belong to. It seems like everybody has one on Facebook, on Twitter, and let people know. We're offering books at a pretty significant discount.
And again, let us know. I mean, if there's something in particular that you want to see, let us know.
If there, and we will.
We have it.
That's how we wound up with the Silver Age books.
Yeah.
People, shot us a few messages about, hey, we'd like to see some Silver Age stuff. People went back into the Dynamite Vault and found, Silver Age stuff. We're going to do this right before we go to break. This is a great book. This is Jennifer Blood. This is the Blood Red Retailer Incentive variant, signed by Ale Garza. Jennifer Blood this is just you know what? I'm not even really going to try to explain the character to you other than to tell you this is sort of like a nonstop thrill ride. If you like something that's not every day, you're not looking at capes and masks, you're not looking at zombies. If you're looking for something that starts to go and keeps going, this is the book for you. And these Blood Red variants that Dynamite does are just, I love these. There's not much better. There isn't a better way to see the line art than either with a Blood Red or a black and white variant.
Well, you and I have talked about it, whether it's Blood Red or black and white or even the Emerald Green. There's a cleanness to the line art.
What?
Before color is is inked into it. There's just a clean kind of, you really get to see the art, the lines and the details of what goes into it, because sometimes the color can really distract you from some of the details.
Oh yeah, it really can.
But
we
have one, and it's suggested retail is $69.99, and we're going to do this one tonight for $29.99.
Wow, that's nice. This is one of these chase books that you can get at a exsanguinated price. Nice, JD, very nice. You can get this at the exsanguinated price, or you can pay $60 or $70.
I'm not sure I can pronounce that word.
Exsanguinated.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You're the guy who was pushing books that weren't even on sale yet.
Exsanguinated. Sherlock Holmes has the case of the exsanguinated count.
And wow, I'm impressed that you knew that.
Well, Dynamite publishes Sherlock Holmes.
And limited to 25. So, what's Dave saying here? Perillo's new cover for Jennifer. It is definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and Perillo's art altogether. I mean, everything he does is phenomenal.
I mean,
absolutely
we try not
amazing.
to just fanboy too much because we try to keep it moving. But some of these creators, we could spend like.
But we're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it anyway.
It doesn't really matter.
We will be back.
Oh, is it break time? It's break time.
I think it is break time, actually. Thanks for having us. Thanks for being here. We love when people sort of, I realize there's a lot of options out there, particularly on the internet. Thanks for popping in, spending some time with us.
JD crazy. He's waiting to push the button.
All right, JD, go push the button and we'll be back
in
a break, 3 minutes?
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
And
Hey
we're
guys,
back.
we're back.
People are like, oh, what are you going to show next? I'm going to go back to what we were just talking about.
All right. So we're gonna. Oh, and now it's time when John dances. Go ahead, John.
No, it is not time for John to dance.
JD, I'm very happy you remember.
What
that.
it is time for is our Dave Cerrone special. Dave shouted out Jennifer Blood. This is a great read. This is a family show. We like to think of this as a family book, tongue in cheek. This is just a great revenge story. This is a great
dysfunctional family.
This is like one of these over the top type of gun books. Dave, you have first crack at this. We only have one of these. If you want it,
because Dave shouted out Jennifer Blood, we're gonna go a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
Dave, $10.
$10. You want this?
Dave, you have first crack, but anybody can pick this up at 10. Unfortunately, we only got the one.
If Dave passes, then it's up for grabs.
It's up for grabs. Dave has first right of
Dave
refusal.
does have right of first refusal. We do have certificate of authenticity on the back, hollow foil seal, all the good stuff. I will say this real quick before we kind of move on. If you are not reading this book and you're looking for something different, even if you don't get this, shoot down to your LCS and ask them about Jennifer Blood. Email them first if you want to save yourself the trip. If not, you can always hit up the website of us or one of the other retailers. Someone will have this for you. This is just a great read. This is one of these things where I tend to read a lot of this stuff down the shore.
All right, Ronald, it is yours as long as Dave doesn't take it. Dave had right of first refusal, but if Dave doesn't take it, it's yours, Ron.
Anybody but me. This is one of these things where
see this no sell to John.
Obviously,
that's what the T-shirt says.
Obviously, if no one takes this, I'm taking it home. So I'm super happy to see Ron.
All right, so Dave is giving it up to Ron. So Ron, it is yours.
Nice, that's nice. Dave is passing that on to Ron. So Ron.
So thanks, Dave, for the shout out.
Thanks Dave.
Ron,
thanks, Ron. Ron, you know the deal by now. There'll be a link.
Yeah, Ron's always good.
Ron's bought like 62 books. He knows exactly how it works.
Ron's always great with the paperwork.
Why don't we do another Silver Age book?
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Pick it up.
Each time
Pick it up.
Each
Pick
time
it up,
Rex
John.
has me touch one of these books, I'm waiting for
Pure
a
pressure.
new co-host next
Come
week.
on, John.
This is
wait, JD. What did you call John? He had something in a scroll.
Oh, I didn't see it. What is it?
I don't know. It was like Deborah or something like that.
I am not. My fingers are not Silver Age fingers.
You know,
These are
John. You open the door next week if JD's producing. It's hard to say what he's going to put up there. Peggy. That's it, Peggy.
Peggy.
I'm calling you Peggy for the rest of the show. So Peggy, show them that book. Which one did you pick up?
Man, I'm happy with Peggy Carter, man.
Which one did you pick up?
This is X-Men Volume 1, 52.
All right.
One of the really cool Silver Age villains on here. I love this character, Eric the Red. Twilight of the Mutant storyline.
So X-Men number 52, presumed grade, R grade of a 6.0. And we have this one. We only have one. As I said, with Silver Age, generally speaking, we're only ever going to have one of any particular issue. So we have one at $70 tonight. So
that is at a presumed grade of 6. That's a great price for this book. I know that there are people out there that do not have this book. And again, you don't want to leave these books.
Most people do not have this book.
No, but you don't want to leave these books here for like Nick to pick up because that's just the rich getting richer. You absolutely want to get these books.
Well, technically, he already owns them.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, let's show.
Well, it's like Nick likes to say, he's not heartbroken. He wants to sell these to you. He's doing this to, throw the community.
I don't know. I think sometimes he's heartbroken. I mean, that's I again find the whole ripped art in the box story suspicious. I think somebody wanted to buy it, Nick didn't want to sell it. They were grabbing at it, and it ripped. I think that's what happened. But I don't have any actual evidence of that. But I'm just saying. that seems more likely true than the other story of him, opening it in the box and, I'm not buying that
He's
one.
excited. It's like Christmas morning, man. Original artists come to the office.
Yeah, I've waited for a lot of stuff and wasn't ever so excited that I cut through whatever was in the box. Come on, man. I think some guy, Nick, was thinking about selling it. Some guy, he agreed to a deal, then he changed his mind, and then a tug of war ensued. That's how the art got ripped.
Although I've given a new address to people doing Green Hornet original art to send it to
The unknown takes number 52.
All right.
Nice.
Goes to the unknown. Can we get one of those very, very professional sticky pads?
Sticky pads.
First class all the way here, people. Okay.
The
graphics package is coming from Amazon next week, I think. Which is essentially just a dry eraser board, which John is going to hold up.
I know, right? No, you know what we're going to do? I think we're going to paint a small square right here with chalkboard. And so we can just kind of write.
We could do that. I'm just afraid of what we might draw. All right, so that one's gone. So
tonight it's the X-Men. If there's something else that you're wanting to see from the Silver Age, from the Bronze Age, please again, in the comments, email us, let us know.
Yeah, definitely let us know. For all the viewers out there, so most of you have my email, rex.wang@dynamite.com. Any concerns, anything like that, but predominantly, if there's something more that you want to see or that we haven't shown, let us know. If we can get it, we'll be happy to bring it to the show. And we're always working on Silver Age stuff, always with the remarks, because I love the remarks. They're personal favorites of mine.
Speaking of remarks,
here we go.
We're going to grab another one.
Show him, Peggy.
This is Scooby Apocalypse #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Jim Lee, Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, Howard Porter art. This is what we're talking about Ken Hazer. You look at that, and you would think Ken Hazer had worked at Hanna-Barbera for a decade. And he busts that out with basically a black Sharpie.
Yeah. It's just,
signature is right here.
When you talk about a gift, clearly that's Ken Hazer. You give him a blank variant cover and tell him, can you do this? And next thing you know, you get something like this. You get something like the Batman, the Spider-Man we just had.
Yeah, just in case people can't tell, this is the entire remark. It's, you know what I mean? And here's the signature down here. But I mean, the vivid quality of this is just, I think Ken just likes to show off now. He's like, what's this?
Here's the thing. I mean, we talk about remarks, or in this case, sketch cover art, as a bridge to original art. But really, after we've been doing this show a little bit and seeing the collectors out there and thinking about it a little bit more, it really has its own place, because the thing about it is when you look at original art, that's something that is eventually going to go into production. Okay, and it's going to be reproduced.
It's almost a little bit more like a commission, almost, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is. And even though certain of the sketch covers are similar to another one, each one is unique, and we pointed that out. There's always going to be something a little different because each one is drawn by hand.
We had it with Punchline. We had it with Thor. And Mjolnir. We got these great different versions of Mjolnir.
And we had that one by Mariano Nicieza and Delbato, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And, each had Thanos on the cover. Each one was a little different. Even the ground that they were standing on was a little different because, although they can make it look similar, you can't exactly reproduce, each one in the same mechanical way.
You don't want that.
No, you don't. You don't.
You can buy, let's be honest, you can buy a print.
So
you want something
really
that's
has
a little personalized.
Its own individual collectability in that sense, in that even though original art, a particular piece of original art is one of a kind, it has been mass produced, and printed into the pages of a comic.
The MSRP for this, I think,
did I not get to that?
$89.99. I know.
Did I forget to do that? Yes, I did. The only one I did was for Green Hornet, and that was because I wanted to sneak it right out from under you, John. Just pull that rug right out from under you. $89.99, correct.
And to be honest with you, if you want something unique, I would have no problem spending that. I really wouldn't.
But tonight we have this one, and we only have the one for $69.
Oh, that's really nice. Is this one of these things where it's $69 because Scooby-Doo came out in 1969?
Okay. We'll go with that.
Sir, you're employed by a comic publisher. You should know this stuff.
Listen, I can barely remember what year I was born most days. You kidding me?
1969. No, I don't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that, and I'm not telling him.
I love that. JD, man.
Now,
we
JD,
gotta
is
make
it
sure
time for John to dance yet? Or no? It will be Peggy dancing for us tonight.
No. I wish we had like a Peggy Carter thing.
Listen, I promise you, if you wear a wig on Wednesday,
no one wants
I
to
will
see
get
that.
JD to put the name Peggy in the graphic when we start. I promise. JD, can we do that?
You know what? Look at the graphics JD's putting up. Hamilton reference. You know what? Tell Kyle to do somebody else's show, because when Kyle does the show, we just get this wah wah, you're terrible. And when JD is like a valuable part of the show.
I know, right? You know,
no, Kyle's got to prep
us.
Kyle's got to prep our food show, man. That's what I want to do with Kyle next.
That's the problem with doing it in this time slot. Kyle's always eating, and then it makes me hungry.
You know what? This is the only slot I'm not eating, so that's why we're doing it now. Nobody wants to see me devour brisket.
Brisket.
I
feel like brisket now.
Oh.
Wonder if there's a barbecue joint open after the show.
There is. Are you kidding me?
You would know.
Yeah, of course.
All right, what do you got?
Tex-Mex in Mount Laurel.
Wait, what was it?
Ma and Pa's Tex-Mex in Mount Laurel. My buddy Alex runs it.
I did not. I'm writing that down, actually.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the link.
Ma and Pa Tex-Mex.
Thank you, JD. Yes, September 13th, 1969, Scooby-Doo premiered. So that's why we had that book at $69.
Thank you, JD.
Thank you, JD.
See? JD is helpful.
You know what?
Sometimes hurts my feelings.
We do kind of talk. I myself have talked about original art as remarks to Gateway's original art, but the truth is they really are like a fusion of, yes, original art, of course, but it's almost like a hybrid, because you're getting like a bit of a commission in there, because essentially Nick is contacting Ken and saying, do something. You know, he might not be giving him like the super specific commission instructions. Like I've had Green Hornet commissioned, and I've asked the artist, I need the gun, I need the car, I need Kato behind him, I need the Hornet logo, right?
Bossy.
But my point is, Nick is essentially saying, and if I'm wrong here, Nick will correct me, but essentially Nick is saying to Ken, hey, look, we want you to do something on this cover. And, and then
within the theme,
of course. But so you're getting a little bit of a commission, you're getting a little bit of original art, you're getting a signature. I
think its uniqueness is
it
that
really is unique in the industry.
Unlike original art, it's not getting reproduced. When you buy a sketch cover, that's yours. And that particular unique sketch cover is yours. So
I got to tell you, this is.
All right, what do you got there, Vampirella?
This is really nice. It's Vampirella 35, but this is ultra limited. There's not, and this might be a little bit of a humble brag, there's not that many people out there that have seen as many Dynamite books as I have over the last 15, 16, 17 years.
How many are there?
I don't know if I've seen this before, to be perfectly honest. This is limited to 50 copies. This is Fabiano Neves, a black and white. This is ultra limited Vampirella 35.
And think about this. 50 copies printed.
Yeah.
This isn't something that necessarily is even signed and limited, which that number is very small.
It's always cool when I find something yeah.
So suggested retail is $75. Tonight we have it for $19.69 because Peggy tell us.
That's the year Vampirella premiered, along with Scooby-Doo. Man, 69 was a good year for stuff.
Right?
Like Man Lands on the Moon, Vampirella drops, Scooby-Doo drops.
Now John's making comparisons with the moon landing.
Well, the moon landing's up there, but it didn't sell that many copies, did it?
According to some people, it never happened.
Just a really cool cover. You've kind of got malevolent spirits in Vampirella's diaphanous cloak. This is very
John's
much
using big words tonight.
This is very much channeling. We'll call it maybe the Warren era.
So we have two available at $19.69. If
I remember correctly, Brandon Jerwa, who wrote this, he was very much tapping into that sort of black and white era of Vampirella. And that cover is really sort of nicely,
right.
You know what?
What do you want to do next?
Why don't we do? Is this a pack or is this?
Nope.
It's a slab.
It's It's a slab.
which I can touch with impunity because it's protected. No, not impunity. I still don't want to drop it or anything. But what we have here, let me try to understand.
This was chosen in protest of Christmas in July.
We have tried very hard to get rid of Christmas in July and get rid of July.
Yeah. Try to find. There he is.
This
There's
is
Rudolph.
slabbed at 9.8. DC's very merry.
If anyone can break a CGC, it's you, John.
Oh,
Boy, she's really cranky.
she is, man.
You better bring gifts next time you come.
No, you know what? I've learned in the history of my life, there's a couple ways to take care of someone when they're cranky, and one of them is I just bring food.
That would work.
Generally, they're tearing
would
through
work.
food, dessert, cakes, booze, champagne,
So
and you can slip out the back door.
I'll expect a regular smorgasbord buffet on Wednesday night then.
Amy's angry. Good job, Kate.
All right, so we've got DC's Very Merry Multiverse #1.
You would
CGC
think her
graded.
coworkers at Skylar's Hoagies every day, and there's no hoagies on her desk.
I don't go to Skylar's every day. You gotta have a mixed diet. I gotta have salad every now and again. Eat roughage.
Yes.
Salad's
what they put on top of the hoagie.
That's what I thought for a very long time. My doctor told me,
No.
contrary to my belief, okay, that's not true. And there's no salad on a meatball sub.
Do you know when my cardiologist had this conversation with me at a steakhouse? So you could see where he kind of lost the moral high ground.
Yeah, you might want to think about getting a new cardiologist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll absolutely have the steak up off. No, about your heart.
When you walk in and they know him by the first name, hey, George, what's happening?
You're not kidding.
But
This is just a really fun book. They did 10 different stories in here, which is nice. 80-page giants. Being very old, I remember when you used to have books like this. A lot of times you had them come out during summer. I don't know if maybe some of the creators for DC and Marvel were down the shore, so you would tend to get a lot of these like assistant editor issue. They would be trying out some new talent. You would get 4 or 5 stories. Maybe one was a reprint. When you would hit the spinner rack and there was giant or king size, you were so happy.
So, all right. So let's see. Suggested retail is $89.99. Tonight we have the one guaranteed 9.8 for $50.
Wow, that's
So
9.8 slab book for $50.
We've been doing a lot of the graded 9.8s.
We've got Lobo.
Just to try to bring a.
This is a. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem saying it. This is a 5-star book.
Looks like Wilfredo's picking up the 9.8.
Yeah,
So.
Wilfredo. This is, I was going to kind of explain how this is, this is
He's
like a
gonna explain anyway.
5-star book. But no, I mean, it's Wilfredo's now, so I'm going to be very careful and put it back in its plastic.
Amy, can we get another little sticky note with the sold on it? And John will have a cheesesteak for you.
Not a cheesesteak fan.
What? Uh-oh.
Man, that's going to come up.
I may have to disagree with Amy now all of a sudden.
That's going to come
This
up.
could
in
get
her
ugly,
review.
people.
Amy, you're an excellent administrative assistant, but I see a cheesesteak deficiency here from Human Resources.
That might be why she's so cranky.
Oh man, Rex's review is going to be
Uh-oh.
lost.
Next week you might see a comic collectibles with Rex crossed out, and then
Amy-
John's written in. Okay.
Oh my god!
Oh, if only.
Right?
Oh man! All right, so the slab is gone.
The slab is gone, Wilfredo. I think you're going to be really happy with that. I was going to talk a little bit about how much fun multiverse covers are. You always get these different versions of familiar
I
characters.
told you Peggy was going to do it anyway.
I'm just going to tell people, ask Wilfredo to hold it up. It's not my book anymore. It's Wilfredo's. If he wants to post on social media the cover, knock yourself out. Let's
What do you want to do next?
see. What do we want to do? Oh, you know what? How about this? Something from Marvel. I've gone on and on and on about the Ultimates and Brian Michael Bendis.
What?
And,
You? On and
yeah.
on and on? Never.
I
Stop.
was pretty much marveled out by the time Ultimate started. It was 2000. I'd seen everything. There'd be 19 clones. There'd been 5 Secret Wars. I was good. I was real good. I still had a few years to wait for Dynamite to come out. So I was sort of just kind of drifting, trying to find a gear comic-wise. Ultimates came out, and it completely basically re-energized my love for Marvel and their characters. This is the Ultimate 16, written by Sam Humphries, art by Luke Ross. I believe this is the issue where, and this is probably even more timely today than anything else, after a national disaster, Captain America cuts out the middleman and just becomes the president, which I would very much like to see. This is signed by Sam Humphries.
And the realism of that cover.
The realism of the cover, I'm trying to get a little bit closer so people can say it. That's actually Captain America, his hand on the Bible. He's being sworn in. If I remember correctly, one of the terrorist organizations from the Ultimate Universe wipes out Congress, and there's literally nobody left in charge. And everybody sort of universally agrees that the only person we trust is Captain America. So guess what, Cap? You're in charge. So there's a period of time in the Ultimate Universe before it's wiped out where Cap is the president. And, you know, it's really kind of neat. I mean, how many times do you see a book where somebody gets punched in the face by the president? Not often enough.
And let me see, is this limited to anything? Can you tell?
50 copies.
All right, so limited to 50 copies. We have one tonight at $29.99. So signed by Sam Humphries. And yeah, I love the realism of
This is
cover.
from the United We Stand. Yeah, you know, Marvel differentiated itself originally from DC by being a little bit more reality-based, right? By the time you get to the 21st century, Marvel is almost indistinguishable from DC in terms that things are so super fantastic now. There's hidden cities and cities in space. And Brian Michael Bendis, I guess, you know, sitting in his office, lights are going out. Marvel didn't have the power on. Things were not great. They kind of gave him the freedom to do whatever he wanted to do. And he kind of brought Marvel back to its roots. You know, Peter Parker is 16 again.
Right.
And, you know, the Avengers are the Ultimates, and a more realistic version for the year 2000 of what an Avengers team or Ultimates team would look like. It was lettered differently. The art styles were different. Really, really, I would tell anyone, go back and buy the back issues. Go get the trades if you really want to. Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimates, and Ultimate Fantastic Four. These were just great interpretations of, you know, these characters that had been with us at that point 4 or 5 decades.
So we got time probably for
Do we have time to do one more?
I think we got time for one more before we got to go to break. You want to do another Silver Age?
Yeah, why don't we do another Silver Age book? We're up to maybe...
You did 51, 52, so let's do 53.
53?
Yep.
Okay. This is very carefully touching it. Every time I touch a Silver Age book, you lose 1% of your increase in your review.
Listen, so I didn't trust John, but I trust Peggy. So
just Peggy. This is a very cool cover. I'm pretty sure that's Blastar.
So X-Men number 53, presumed R grade of 6.0. And tonight we have it for $60, and we have just the one. As again, with most Silver Age comics, you know, we only have the one that we can
it's a great
that we find, you know, on the open market.
This is a great period in the X-Men. They're now a little bit more individualistic. People had Stan Lee's talked about this repeatedly. Almost everything they did with the X-Men was done to stimulate sales because this book sort of lagged behind Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. About 10 years ago at Wizard World in Philadelphia, Stan Lee came down and talked about, someone asked, you know, where you got the cool angel headband costume. And he said he had a magazine left in his office about like modern fashions. And that was where they sort of, him and Jack got the idea to sort of, you know, let's be honest, those utilitarian costumes were, you know, even by 1960 standards, they were pretty unimaginative.
Yeah.
So they tried to give them something a little bit more color, a little bit more stylized. Ironically, Cyclops kept his costume basically, which I kind of like though. You know, people sort of poke a little fun at Cyclops. He's not the most interesting character. If you follow Gail Simone, she routinely punchlines Cyclops. She's doing it today on social media. Cyclops is sort of works best when he's dull. He works best when he's
weird. Let me just hold up the
Cyclops. When they try to do things with Cyclops where, they have him look like Mr. Universe, I don't think he works nearly
He's
that well.
supposed to be plain Jane.
He's very much, he's the baseline.
Yeah. You got enough characters. You end up having enough characters in the X-Men universe that are unique.
Not to mention, I think he was very much the quintessential sitcom husband. Yes. Before they had that, right? Yes. Because let's be honest, his wife is better than he is. Mm-hmm. If you follow the X-Men books, his kids, every kid he has is more powerful than he is. Yeah. More interesting, more edgy. He's just sort of like, he's Homer.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my ID.
Somebody's got to be.
But I think Cyclops is probably the truest X-Men character to the Silver Age. He's basically a guy. He's got some skills and he's got some I-beams. He's got, a backpack full of problems, and he's got, his daddy issues with the professor,
Right.
And I think that looking where original Cyclops is now in Marvel Comics, they have different versions of Cyclops running around now. That original version, when you look at a book like this from the 60s and you look at where he is now, that's quite a story arc.
It is.
That's quite a story arc, and I think it's nice to be able to get that touchstone of where they came from. Let's be honest. The X-Men has any character, maybe Spider-Man, has any character had as many storylines, like meandering, decades-long storylines than the X-Men have in Marvel?
Probably not.
I mean,
the Unknown is claiming number 53. Okay, got it.
That's we're going to get you a sold sticker on that.
That highly professional Post-it note.
Yeah, we're estimating that at about a 6. I think when you see this book, you'll see that's pretty much a ballpark. That's like in the ballpark. One of the things we like to do is when these things are, our guesstimate grade, we always try to be fair. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is tell someone, oh, it's going to be a 9 and it's really like a 5 or 6. We would just rather say right out, the aggregate opinion of the experts in the office, this is going to be, this is probably going to be
exactly. To give you some idea, we realize that it's hard, to kind of look at a Silver Age comic with the super duper camera that we have.
I know, right?
So that's why we started adding
we need the 4K GoPro setup.
Yeah, right. Hey, Amy,
can we get JD, we're going to a break now, right? Notes? The Unknown, another great pickup.
John will get you a porterhouse.
I don't. After this break,
we'll do it after the break. She just said.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
And we're
Hey,
back.
and we're back.
This is one of these times where, one of my favorite memes or GIFs on the internet is Jerry Seinfeld going, "Oh, it's a shame." And it's not really a shame. The good news here is The Unknown picks up a great book at a great price. For us, it's great because A, Nick doesn't get it. It's out there in the wild where it belongs in the hands of someone who wants, who really will appreciate the book. And B, the book was supposed to be $60. Somewhere along the line, there was a mistake and JD threw up $50, which is totally fine, JD, because that extra $10 will be deducted from Kyle's check. So Kyle's got that $10 covered.
Tacos for Kyle.
That's less tacos. He's gonna have to bag it for lunch one day. And of course, The Unknown got a great book at a great price.
Yeah, just to confirm, Unknown, you get it at $50.
Yeah,
so
you get it at
no
50.
Problem there.
Kyle's $10 short in his pay envelope, and he'll have to work that out with human resources. Although I'm pretty sure Amy will tell him.
Or the taco guy.
Amy will tell him you'll take your $10 penalty and like it, and he'll say yes, ma'am.
All right, so
why don't we finish up?
Go for it.
The Silver Age books, because Amy has a little something for us for next week that she wants us to kind of, show. And I would much rather, I'd much rather her produce the show than anyone else. We have X-Men 54 and 55. These are going to be our last Silver Age X-Men books for tonight.
So the number 54, the X-Men 54 is a presumed grade of 6.5, and the number 55 is presumed grade of 7.5.
That's great. What are the prices on these?
So the 6.5, we have one for 110, and the X-Men number 55, we have one for 140. So those are the two for our Silver Age buyers. And then I think Amy's going to give us a few to preview.
Yeah, Amy's going to give us a few to preview. I'm just going to hold these up here for a minute. These are great condition books.
They are.
It's a little bit hard to tell on the screen, but when we tell you like a grade is a 6 or a 7, we're not kidding. These are really nice. I'm trying to let everybody see these. I can almost hear that vein in Nick's head throbbing because you've got me touching these. I can't.
That's half the fun.
Man, I wish I had your confidence that I could just roll the dice with my career every day.
Plus $10 title fee. Listen, we'll just blame Kyle for it and worry about it later.
Instead of a paycheck, Kyle gets a bill. What do these guys do? So yeah, those books are at 110.
Let's see, 54. The 6.5 is at 110. Looks like The Unknown has claimed number 54, and the 55 is a 7.5 for 140.
7.
But JD, make up whatever price you want. Kyle will pay for it. No big deal. So, and The Unknown claims 54, and let's see. Yes, okay. So there we go. Got it. All right. So, Amy, need 2 of those Post-it notes,
Please.
and John's got a porterhouse with your name on it.
She doesn't like steak. You're not paying attention.
Did she say that? No, she said she didn't like cheesesteaks.
That is correct.
So you do like regular steaks.
Yes.
See?
Oh.
Don't explain. I can't explain it. Tony Luke says, big chunks of steak in their cheesesteak. I'm just saying. But, doesn't like cheesesteak from the Philly area. Don't you live in the city as well? You don't like cheesesteaks? It's almost a waste.
Did they both get taken or just one of them?
Just one of them.
I think 54,
no, but
right?
he also had 53 before the break. You're going to hold back the one Post-it note? Or? $1 million.
The Unknown has picked up 52, 53.
And what was it, 54?
Yeah.
Where's 54? Oh, you put it there.
Yeah.
Where's 53?
53 is right here.
Oh, there we go.
It's got a sign on it right now. It has 2.
Now it has 2. It's doubly special. All right, so, and we have some Silver Age to preview. You better have porterhouse, dude. She's not even answering now.
I don't know if I would when I bring people,
Go ahead.
Be very
carefully.
careful.
John?
No.
I'll throw them at you, bro.
Frame.
I will throw them at you. I'm not even playing. I will absolutely wing them at you like a frisbee.
What? I have a question. What is your job title? Because I think that's going to be Amy's job next week, or possibly mine.
Who cares? You got to live on the edge. Come on, Peggy. Take a chance. All right, so we have 59, and this will be
Thank
on.
you, Amy.
When are we going to put this on? We're going to put this on Wednesday. That's assuming that Amy doesn't change her mind or the porterhouse falls through.
I'm thinking Amy's going to change the staff.
So we got 50. Here, you hold that one. I can't hold them all. Haha, see how I worked that? 59, 60, 61. Yes, 61. 62.
No, Kazar's in that.
Ooh,
Nice. Kazar's. That's someone's going to pick that up, and they're going to like that quite a bit.
63. So these will be on Wednesday. And that's, again, assuming that John brings the porterhouse. Can I have one too, John?
This is like 59. This looks to me like it's kind of like maybe a Neil Adams cover, Roy Thomas going on. We're at that. It's not quite the X-Men that we know now, but there's this great little period between kind of like the Lee, Kirby. I think Jay Gavin did some of that stuff, or Werner Roth, which I think was his actual name. Jay Gavin, I think, was a pen name. And then we moved to, before we kind of got to Giant Size X-Men and we got to Cockrum, Claremont, that sort of thing, we had this great little area, not counting the reprints.
Here's a couple more previews, and they're outside of Marvel because we can request for that.
So
we've had people ask
So
that
we
too.
had a request. So Amy gave us a few more. So now you're gonna have to bring cream spinach too with the porterhouse.
What?
Not because Amy likes.
Well, we
it,
have. I
because
think
like
we had
cream
people
spinach.
who asked for, not. They asked for something other than Marvel.
Peggy,
So
it's about me. Okay. So all
these
right.
are going to be for Wednesday. We're going to do these as well.
Amy, Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
Boy, she is
Oh
cranky.
my gosh.
You're fired.
Prime
I'm
rib.
doing a million things, guys.
No, you're not. It's only 900,000 things. All right. So we have, let's see, Teen Titans, number 2. All right. And let's see, first Deathstroke and the Terminator. All right. We have, let's see, DC Presents Superman and Green Lantern, number 26.
DC Presents had some great stories.
First appearance of the New Teen Titans, first appearance of Cyborg, Raven, and Starfire.
DC Presents does not get the sort of pop that like Brave and the Bold does, but DC Presents was a great team-up book that had some great stories and characters that debuted.
Which means John's going to be looking to buy that one.
It was Green Lantern.
Let's see. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 6. First appearance of Leatherhead.
We'll take it out in post. Don't worry about it.
No, we haven't been drinking, but maybe we should be.
Maybe we should be.
Okay. Let's see. Usagi 1986, number 1. First solo series. So these will also be on Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
so we're gonna have a
Marvel,
lot.
DC, Indies. Well, and if there's something else you're looking for, again,
Let us know.
let us know. Something from Valiant or whatever. We'll see. We'll see what we have. I don't think we necessarily have everything, but we can always check.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try.
Oh yeah, we'll
You know,
absolutely try.
We may not have it at the very next show, but if we can get our hands on it, we will.
I imagine that next week I'll probably be behind glass. So all I can do is talk, and you'll actually have to manipulate the books. Either that, or maybe I'll get like Waldo's, like robot arms.
I
The
don't
books.
think so, Peggy. I don't think we're going that way. So what do we want to do next?
I'm silvered out.
We're
I'm
full.
exhausted. It's.
You want to take a nap?
No, what I do want to kind of throw out a remark though.
Throw that remark out.
This is, oh boy. This is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 1. This is Ken Hazer, remark signature. It's signed in Scarlet Spider Red by John Romita Sr. And I almost wish his name was like Shazam. If you said it, he appeared. You know what I mean? That name, just for multiple generations of Spider-Man fans, that just sort of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
For fans of a certain age and generation, he's the Spider-Man artist. And I realize we talk a lot about McFarlane and Bagley and, these great characters, these great actors who've worked on this character. But for some people, John Romita Sr. is like John Romita Sr. managed to make like a leather fringe vest look cool. Peter Parker always had one.
That's true.
And he's probably the only dude I've seen look cool in one.
So, we only have one, and this one is obviously signed by John Romita Sr. with the remark, the amp sketch by Ken Hazer.
Yeah.
So with the Romita Sr. stuff, obviously, because supply is quickly dwindling. This one we have tonight at $699.99.
Yeah, I mean,
we realize it's not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody, but occasionally we get people who are looking for, something, with a little bit more juice. I'll put it that way. John Romita Sr. is one of those Mount Rushmore creators. I think he's kind of done with, that kind of busy travel con scene. He's signing less these days, and that comes straight from his rep.
Yeah. See, he's at a point, where he's kind of enjoying, his life and his grandchildren, his family.
Yeah. And I have no problem saying this will be the lowest price you will see this book for. The next time this book comes up in the rotation, right, it will be more expensive.
Yeah. And it's not someone you're going to see at cons, things like that. So,
but Dan Slott, Adam Kubert, in case anyone's wondering, just, the interior of the book. But
another phenomenal cover sketch by Ken Hazer as well.
Well, I would think when Ken finds out John Romita is going to sign the book, that's a little bit of pressure is on, man.
Who knows? Maybe they didn't tell him.
You know what? I might not tell him either. If I was like the publisher, I'd be like, yeah, sure, just go ahead, do your thing, bud.
So what do we got? What do you want to do next?
I'm looking to see what we have here. We've done a remark. We've done Silver Age. We've done the slab. We've done.
You want to do the other Green Hornet? You know you do.
Well, I kind of want to see that.
You're kind of hoping we forget about it?
I'm not even going to sell it. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? This was a great crossover. This is John Cassaday. I don't even have to read the back of this one. Black and white, ultra rare cover. Michael Uslan did this. Keith Burns does the interior art. This is a book that I made very clear to the publisher. I wanted to run about 200 issues. However, that suggestion did not make it to the top, I guess. This was just a great story. Having it in black and white is just, again, we've talked about this before, shading, line work. That's quintessential shadow on the.
I know. To me, I love the black and whites. I love the blood red. I love the just the pureness of these kind of line art covers, especially with the shadowing, as you said. It's a tremendous cover. But to me, I'm always a big fan, and these are done in very limited edition.
Yeah, there's not a lot of these, and this story is, pretty much it's a diesel punk delight. It's Rasputin, it's Woodrow Wilson, FDR, Nikola Tesla. This is one of these big in scope stories. This isn't like a crook being taken down. This is like a massive story that takes two pulp legends to deal with. 3 if you want to count Cato as well.
Suggested retail is $75, and tonight we're going to do it at $30, and we have 3.
Wow, that's great.
Unlike the last show, we had a lot of 3s.
What discounts lurk in the hearts of men? That's exactly right, JD. For $30, this is, I don't. This is one of these books where if you see it again in the show or at the website, it's probably not going to be $30. Yeah. There's not a lot of these. John Cassaday is just. I don't know if I've ever seen him not do a good cover. Every cover he does is just spot on.
Let's do another remark.
We'll do another remark?
Yeah, we're falling behind on our remarks.
We are falling behind our remarks. You know what? We talked about Ken Hazer doing. Let's see what I have here. We talked about Ken Hazer doing Alien.
Yeah.
And this is a character that very much, I think, creatively pulls its DNA from Predator. DC might not necessarily appreciate that comparison, but, it is. Look at it. I'm going to hold it up and let you see it. Ken Hazer. This is Action Comics 1000, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Rogol Zar is a neat character. He's one of the newer characters that they've really begun to feature.
And Ron picks up one of the Shadow Green Hornets. Thanks,
Good job, Ron. That's, and I don't know if you've read the story. The story is great. Get the rest of the issues. Absolutely terrific story. I'm usually very, very, very particular with Green Hornet stories. As creators on social media have gotten my comments. It's just a great story.
You particular? No.
I've been blocked by a couple of Green Hornet creators that did not appreciate my indicating I knew considerably more about the character than they did.
Well, you should log back on as Peggy. So, but I mean, the intricacy of this sketch. I mean, that's
look at it.
That's
Rogol Zar is not like an easy character to do. I think it really just shows Ken's cred right here. I mean, look at the great job he does here.
So suggested retail is $99.99, and we have this one. We only have the one for $50.
Wow! So this is basically half price. Keep in mind what we've talked quite a bit about the nature of remarks. This is half price.
Yeah. And I mean, you have to measure each, as I said, I mean, almost calling these remarks is doing it kind of an injustice.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I know there's probably not another name for them, but
that's why
I think we're going to do another one too.
Let's do another one.
We have a lot of remarks tonight, and I'm super glad. Wilfredo.
All right, Wilfredo. Let's see. We only had the one, so that's
Wilfredo, we have one, and it's yours. It's all done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, for some reason,
the extra sold one.
We're going to take the extra sold one.
That's very green. That's a very green attitude, John.
Here we go. That is Wilfredo's. Next up, Avengers #1, blank variant, cover signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Moon Knight. Moon Knight right now is constant buzz. Movies, television. I think he's going to be in the latest. He's going to have a different skin in the latest Marvel Avengers game. There's a lot going on with Moon Knight. This Ed McGuinness and Jason Aaron sort of. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. They decided to take the Avengers on a tour of their greatest hits because each version of the Avengers, Thor, Captain America, Tony Stark, you're getting the best versions of them in their run of the book. A lot of times you'll get different Avengers runs where, maybe the character isn't at the peak of its story arc. Here you basically get Cap, Thor, and Iron Man at the peak of their arc. Essentially, their headquarters, and we've seen a couple of really cool Avengers. They've had an island. Mm-hmm. They've had multiple mansions. Their Avengers headquarters, as of sorts, is inside the skull of a
Ron
Celestial.
That's the Taskmaster.
Oh, is it? Oh, no. Ron, good job. No. I think you're right, bud. I looked at this really quick. I think that is the Taskmaster, actually.
I can't work with John. Bring Peggy in.
Ron, why don't you come and do this, and I will. Taskmaster just appeared in Black Widow. My guess is you're probably going to see a little more of a different version of the Taskmaster.
So I'm going to ask everybody for this egregious error. Okay, I think John/Peggy should dance. What's everybody feel about that?
Nobody wants to see that.
JD, can we run the Taji Beats music, please?
What are we charging for this?
Hold on, let me see. I'm busy dealing.
Yeah, Ron is like, how much? And you're trying to get me to dance.
Ron, retail is $89.99. We're doing it tonight for $63, and we have just the one.
Do you know why we're doing it for $63?
Why don't you tell us, Peggy?
Because the Avengers came out in 1963.
You sure about that one? I don't know. You've had a couple mistakes now.
I know, right? I can't tell
Yeah,
the difference between Moon Knight and Taskmaster.
Your flux capacitor wasn't working. So
What? You know what? I think what we're going to do is, and this is going to have to be a little type for JD, but we're just going to make this $60 because I can't even tell the difference between Moon Knight and Taskmaster. So somebody should, there you go. Discounts assemble. $60. Really nice work.
I can't even work with Peggy like this.
I'll tell you right now.
Can you cue up the Taji Beats music, please?
I'll tell you right now. If Amy sits in this chair, it's all business. There's no fun and games when Amy sits in this chair.
Come on. I'm pretty sure the viewers watch the fun and games. You kidding me?
No.
So let's see. Can we sell the Usagi today? Amy, I don't know. We got to ask the boss. You're gonna have to give us a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh no, let us.
Why not? Sure.
Okay.
All right. Amy says we can sell the Usagi today. Okay. But we have to include now 2 porterhouses. Okay. All right. Ron's gonna take the Avengers #1. All right, Ron, got that for you.
We need a sold sticker too, please.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
Ron's going to take the Avengers #1. Let me see. The unknown. How much? Hey, Amy. How much are we going to sell the Usagi for?
One of the
Give us
things.
175.
Wait. Say that again.
175.
175 for the Usagi.
Dave turns in mainly for the fun and games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to try to get this as close
Thank
as I
you,
can.
Dave. And Dave, you want to see John/Peggy dance.
Okay. The unknown is going to take
Usagi.
Usagi. And I just wanted Ron to see. Ken has a great thing he does with eyes. And
Yes,
I just
does.
wanted Ron. It'll be easier when you get the book and you'll see it. But Taskmaster's eyes in here are just so really just, vivid, full of malevolence.
Amy, maybe we please have another Post-it? Do we have enough Post-its?
We don't. We need one for the book that Ron just bought. And I don't even know if we need
I'm
one.
not asking. Peggy's asking.
I don't even know if we need one for you.
All right.
Sold.
So we're moving so fast, we may run out of books.
Oh, run out of books?
Well, not run out of books for real, but what do you got there?
Oh, we haven't done this, have we? No,
think so.
we have not done this.
Oh, it's the X-Men Forever.
It's X-Men Forever. And we've talked about all the different artists and writers who've done this. This is a Jim Lee cover, written by Chris Claremont. I don't know.
And it is signed by Chris
It
Claremont.
is signed by Chris Claremont. This is one of these almost George Perez-like covers where let me see how many characters I can get on a cover.
I know. Like roll call.
If you happen to watch, Chris Claremont had a sort of like a thing he did on Amazon Video where he talked about this. He talked about he's not doing a lot of signings. He's not doing a lot of cons. He's kind of enjoying his life. You know what I mean? He's done things he did the X-Men for 20 plus years. Now he's done cons for almost 15 or 20 more years. And I think now you see him in an interview on the couch with Ann Nesenti and I think Louise Simonson. And they're talking about, now it's time to enjoy my life. Right. So getting his signature might not necessarily be the easiest or most reasonably priced thing to do.
So is that limited? I'm not sure.
What?
You could usually tell on the cert.
I can't. 199 copies were signed.
Okay, there we go. Look at that. See?
Only 199 copies of these we got signed.
So let me see how many we have. And we have one.
We have one. Well,
at $29.99 tonight.
I'll tell you right now, $29.99 is this might be the steal of the night. Not the deal of the night, the steal of the night. $29.99 for Chris Claremont's signature, Jim Lee art. I just, people watching, think long and hard about that.
So, well, we're going to have one less of the preview comics for Wednesday.
We'll pull something else.
So certain. So what do we got? What time is it? Do we have to go to another
Do we
break?
have to go to
JD?
another break,
I
JD, or
think
do we
we
have time
do.
to do one more book?
Let's go to break.
Let's go to break, JD.
Let's go to take us to break, JD.
You are watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience, so hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, oh, we have
Just for the indies.
just for the indies, yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, we have got a lot to do.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Henri Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it.
And we're back. And Peggy's checking his phone.
Peggy is checking his phone.
So what did we learn tonight?
Well, Peggy's checking his phone because one of the things we learned tonight, Usagi is already sold.
So we should probably do the previews at the end of the
We
show.
should probably do this at the end of the show because I was just, it's it went on Wednesday, and I'm like, don't worry about it. It's gone. The unknown has sort of
slid in there.
So from now on,
Grab
we
it.
will probably do the previews sort of like the end of a TV show. Next week on,
Yes.
So what we'll probably do is like the next episode. At the end of the show, we'll kind of let people know a little bit what we're going to have.
So what haven't we done tonight? What we haven't done is we haven't seen John's watch.
I don't think anybody cares
I
about
care.
my watch.
If I care, this is Rex and not Nick, so I get to call it.
Very quickly, this
You
is
can actually tell time on this one.
This is a limited edition Esquire Blackfin. I picked this up.
No idea what any of that means.
I picked this up at
It's like Greek to me. Like
I picked
I
this
don't know
up.
what
This
that
is a
means.
Swiss movement. I picked this up
Is it better than a Timex?
a little bit, yeah.
Will it take a beating and keep on ticking, or what? It take a licking and keep on
This
ticking?
particular model was demoed to stop a 22 caliber bullet.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So
This is
it will
ballistic
take a licking and
glass.
keep on ticking.
This actually they showed a show.
On next week's show, we'll have John, okay,
I know we will.
water skiing with the watch on, okay? and then we'll shoot 22s at him, okay, while he's wearing the watch to see if that's true. However, I'm not a very good shot, so the odds of actually John getting shot are very high.
The average person has many interests. I've got like 4.
John, you have more interest in the next 5 people I know.
No, I
Okay,
basically
seriously.
have 4
No,
things
you
I
don't.
focus on. Obviously, comics,
Clearly.
professional wrestling.
Clearly.
My life has been in the food industry, which has been very good to me. I can't complain. And timepieces.
That's 4.
Yeah, that's why I said it. It's
You
only
said
4.
3.
Oh, 4. Well, obviously, I'm not good at math.
You really need to get that flux capacitor checked
I
out.
do need to.
Clearly, there's some issues.
Have we done? I don't know if we've done this.
We have not
remark
done that.
yet. This
It's
is
not
Batman 100, blank variant, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer with a very cool Batman sketch. Ken's signature is, of course, here. But that sketch is just, you know what? I'd like to make a comment about, oh, look how grim the Dark Knight is. But he's always grim. I mean, honest to God,
This is true.
he's the saddest billionaire I've ever seen in my life. Jeff Bezos is going into space, and Batman decides to spend his money standing on a rooftop, mean mugging Gotham City. Okay, man.
But he's so much cooler than Jeff Bezos. Come on.
Bezos and that crew were hoping they came back with superpowers like the Fantastic Four.
Did not happen.
You could tell they were like, no. Don't put in the cosmic
watch
ray
this.
shielding. This is a really, really nice book. My guess is this is one of one, like a lot of these things tend to be.
Yeah, we have one.
We have one.
Suggested retail is $89.99. Tonight we have this one for $80. Pow, Biff.
You know what? 80.
There are 2 F's in Biff, JD. Pretty sure.
The comic book world we live in now, everything has a massive Batman up market.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if this is another character, it might not necessarily be $80. Batman commercially, I guess you'd have to say, is at the top of the food chain.
Well, I mean, you think about how far back it goes.
Yeah.
You know, from the campy Adam West series to
Well, you even have the Bill Finger era where he's battling. Gotham City is basically like giant props.
So we have one available, and obviously John and I are big John Hazer fans. So who just joined us?
Somebody
Hey.
just joined us. Hello there. Creamer and Cash Comics.
There you go. Thanks for
Thanks for popping in.
So
This
it's
is
Amber, who has a great auction channel on YouTube. That's Creamer and Cash Comics.
That's what I thought that was. Amber, I'm sorry, my eyesight is not that great.
Oh, and he's getting stuff wrong.
No, but what we really need to make the font on this stuff bigger because I'm like Creamer, and I
could get a bigger screen.
We should probably have a 70-inch plasma screen against the wall.
Well, we probably need some lights. I mean, Kyle's been hounding us about the lights.
Maybe be in studio version 2.0.
2.0. So
is there? I'm trying to think if there's.
We're running out, man.
We are running out.
We've gone through.
We've had
people buy stuff, and then we have to move on, and you don't get to ramble on and on about that comic.
Is there? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that we've?
Let's see.
Did we do this?
Which one?
Did we do Unknown X-Men? Uncanny. I'm sorry, it's Uncanny X-Men.
No, we didn't.
Oh my God, people will crucify me if I forgot this one.
No, we didn't do that one.
This is Uncanny X-Men 535, signed by Terry Dodson. This is just an absolute great signature to have, man.
Limited to 100, and I believe we have 19 of 100 and 20 of 100.
Yeah, these are not going to probably be in the vault that long.
And we have tonight one copy for $29.99.
We've had a couple really cool signatures tonight at the $30 price point. And I'll tell you right now, if signatures are your thing, these books will not be $30 the next time you see them. And they absolutely...
See you, Ron. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ron.
Let's see. X-Men sold to Wilfredo.
Wilfredo, you're going to like this. The cover's amazing. Signature is up here.
All right, so number 535, right, Wilfredo?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking Wilfredo. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yep. Only because he has 500 written there, so I'm just assuming he was typing too fast.
Yeah. Well, of course he wants.
Wilfredo, you want 19 or 20? let us know.
Yeah, whichever one you want
Yes. Just let us know.
is yours, bud.
He's going to say the one that John didn't touch.
You know what? I totally get that, man.
But we're not going to tell you which one John touched. It'll be a surprise.
It will. It will. That's like when you get
getting socks for Christmas.
That's like when you get a surprise letter from
I made
a lawyer.
2 references to Christmas. First, I put that graded book on for Christmas on, and then I just made another reference to Christmas. Nick and his Christmas in July. Wants 19. All right, got it, Wilfredo.
Thank you, Wilfredo. Just want to take a second to. We want to thank, of course, Wilfredo, Ron, the Unknown,
Dave.
Everybody that joins us. Dave. Obviously, we're trying to get books into people's hands.
I love JD
at a reasonable price.
Thank you for calling it a cheesesteak and not a steak and cheese, which I take issue with in the other 49 states.
I'm trying to do the touching moment here.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You want to hug it out or what?
No, I just want to thank people for taking the time again to join us, and ask them if it's not too much of an imposition to please like, share, friend, follow, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm here making math mistakes.
Ron already pointed one out.
and character mistakes for that matter. Someone's like, Moon Knight, no. This works when we have more people. We can get more books into people at deeper discounts. So really kind of try to pass the word on to your friends, family, share this as much as possible. The more people we have watching the show, the more people we have participating in the process, the more we can get books to people at lower prices.
And as a reward for doing that for us, John will dance next week.
You know what? Maybe if we reach 1,000 viewers, you'll see a little dance.
You heard it here first. Here we go. Come on, people. Help me out here.
Viewers. $9.99. I'm fine.
You guys do the Supergirl book?
No, we're not doing it.
What is the matter with you?
I don't know. Feeling a little
I could have
punchy.
swore we did the Supergirl book, but then
did
again,
not. What?
You call me cranky.
I know, right? Not only that was I wrong.
I'm hangry too.
You.
All right. So Supergirl Rebirth #1, signed by Steve Orlando.
This is very much tying into the show.
Yes.
The whole thing with the DEO. I mean, from what I understand, longtime Supergirl fans really appreciate this series because it's something different. You know what I mean? Supergirl has not always had the best gear shifts. You know, when they kind of did like the dark version of Supergirl, I know a lot of the longtime fans were not that into that.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this really kind of zeroes in on the essence of what the character is. Very well received. Signed by Steve Orlando. What up here? Supergirl Rebirth 1. What are we? What's the
suggested retail is $29.99. Tonight we'll do this one. We have one for $19.69. Actually, JD just put up $19.59. So we'll have to honor that, JD.
JD's just undercutting everything, man.
Kyle's going to be really ticked off.
I think it's supposed to be 1959 because that's the year that Supergirl appeared.
Well, I see 1969.
So Kyle,
go with 59. Who cares? 1959.
So Kyle has lost $10.10 now. He's going to wonder what happened to his paycheck.
There'll be no more pizza and tacos. He'll have to make like
he'll be like ramen noodles or whatever.
He'll
have a cup of noodles.
Couple noodles. Kyle's not going to be too happy, but
really nice work here.
That's all right. John and I don't care. So we have $1, Bob. $1.
$1.
Oh, man. I like JD more than Kyle now.
Well, he's
Kyle's mean. He hurts my feelings sometimes.
Plus, JD is significantly better at this than
Kyle. Ooh, you know Kyle is going to see this at some point.
No, I'm just waiting for the screen. He probably cut the feed on this in a half hour ago. We're just talking.
They're gonna have John up there in crayon, but misspelled.
Oh, backwards and stuff. Oh no!
He's gonna hire a 3-year-old to do it.
Oh, let's see.
We covered everything, didn't we?
We've covered almost everything. We sold a
fair
number of books. I'm gonna do a recap.
All right, let me tell you which ones. All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna start with these. to the surprise of no one, I am a lifelong Green Hornet fan.
Gee, you haven't mentioned it about a million times.
We have 2 really nice Green Hornet books tonight. We have Green Hornet number 4, a black and white variant, signed by Mark Waid, and the ask is
$19.40.
$19.40. And Shadow Green Hornet, you absolutely, I cannot stress strongly enough, if you pick this up, what is the ask?
$30, and we only have 2. We had 3, but Ron took 1, so we only have 2.
We only have 2. Even if you don't pick up this issue, absolutely get the back issues, get the trade, hit up your local comic book store, hit any of the websites, including our own, of any of the hosts of the shows. Someone will be able to get this for you. Dark Knights is a really, really cool story. I keep trying to get trying to get another one of these called Dark Knights Returned, but there might be some trademark issues with DC.
You think?
A little bit.
I'm sure they won't be bothered by it at all. I'm sure their attorneys won't call.
I'm a big Mark Waid fan. I was a little bit skeptical when I heard he was going to do Green Hornet. I've never been happier to be wrong in my life. I should have known Mark Waid essentially can do anything. Mark Waid has written my favorite DC story of all time, which is Kingdom Come. There's not much Mark Waid can do. Like me, a huge fan of the Legion of Superheroes.
Well, if you have John's endorsement for his beloved Green Hornet, okay, there can be no better.
There was a small list of characters. Several years ago, Mark Waid was part of a project called Thrillbent. And he talked about characters that he would love to take a swing at. And one of the characters he mentioned that day, this was in San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going to say maybe 2016, maybe 2017, 2016. And he had talked about one of the characters he would like to do is some pulp stuff. Maybe the Spider Master of Men, maybe Green Hornet. I don't know if he'd already had conversations with Nick. I mean, I'm not privy to that sort of, inside baseball emailing. But Mark Waid did Daredevil, and people were like, this is the best Daredevil since Frank Miller. He did Legion of Superheroes, and I don't know if there's been a better run of Legion for Mark Waid. This version of Green Hornet is very good. I very much recommend.
You would definitely know.
I very much recommend getting both of these series from your LCS. Comic Shop Locator will help you find your LCS. Maybe you've sort of stepped away from comics a little bit. You don't know where your local store is. Or maybe you're one of those people, as much as I like people to go to the LCS, some people just still aren't comfortable going out in public. I mean, I see it every day.
Well, I think Americans' buying habits have changed.
They really have changed. Most of the comic book shops have websites, and we, literally everyone here. I've also I always like to talk, throw out some of those people that are sort of really trying to make it. Find me on social media. I can always recommend someplace, but your first go-to should always be, if you can't or don't want to go to your local comic book store, hit up their website, email them and say, hey, look, I'm looking for Dynamite's Shadow, Green Hornet, Dark Knights. I want the back issues. I want the trade. What's the price on it? What's the ask? And they can help you. They're happy to do it. This industry starts at, grown from the spinner racks and the newsstands to your local comic book shop. And that's when this thing went from being something that little kids grabbed to a real hobby, a real passion, a real pastime. Local comic book shops are essential to this industry. So I always recommend your first go-to, if you decide not to pick up, an issue with a remark or, again, something, like Blackest Night or Vampirella, you can always have your LCS. It's a pull list, curbside service. Most stores are willing to work with you, whatever you're sort of, someone reached out to me on Instagram in a private message about they're not comfortable going out. They have some health issues. What did I recommend? And I recommended Comic Shop Locator. Find your local comic shop, shoot them an email, tell them your concerns, and see how they can help you. Yeah. Can they ship your books? Maybe somebody, you can just pull up in your car.
It's the ultimate in terms of small business. it's part of the passion, I think, that comic collectors have and comic fans have, is the ability to kind of go to your local store, go through the long boxes, find people with similar interests to chat with and discuss. It's not something where you want it to go to the wayside like your local hardware store that you used to have in your neighborhood growing up. At least someone my age and your age.
No, my age too. Yeah. I'm super fortunate here in Mount Laurel. We still have a hardware store,
but they're few and far between.
They're few and far between. Right. Let's be honest. It's giant mega box stores.
Where I can't find anything.
I can't find anything.
Yeah, I need a handful of screws and bolts, and I'm there for an hour.
The
stores are so big. Aisle after aisle.
The stores are so big. They have like telephone intranets so they can talk and look stuff up. For some people, that's great. For some people, they really just like going into a hardware store and puttering around a little bit, and it's very much the same with comic books. Some people are fine with the digital medium. Some people are fine with stuff just simply, being shipped to them. But I will say there is not much better, maybe on a rainy day, than shooting down to your LCS, just going through the stacks, going through the long boxes, asking, hey, I'm looking for something new to read. Keep in mind, your local comic book shop owner is there all day reading comics. It's literally their job. It's how they make their money. So you will get, especially if you develop a relationship with your LCS, they'll let you know. When I was younger, people would be like, oh, you like this book? You might like that. One of the ways I was introduced to Tom Strong, which is one of my favorite characters, is the LCS at the time knew I was a Doc Savage fan. And he said, this is a little bit of like an Alan Moore swing at Doc Savage. Right. It was excellent. It was, Alex Ross had done the first cover, so I was in. Tom Strong, #1, Volume 1, I was in. And, to this day, I remain a fan. That's one of those characters I would like to see very much more of. And I would recommend, if you're like me, you like pulp, you like diesel punk, which is different from steampunk, you would absolutely want to check out Tom Strong. It's a great, fantastical look at the future according to like the 1940s.
I mean, and we talk about this a lot in all seriousness. I mean, without the local comic book shops, you're talking about the foundation, the network for comic collectors. And in this day and age, where it's become source material to multi-billion-dollar movie industry, without these guys, and make no mistake of it, they're shrinking. I mean, and the pandemic certainly didn't help.
Yeah, not to be old Robert Frost, but these are the seeds from which the multi-billion-dollar industry was grown. And, the bed they sat in was your local comic book shop. I mean, I am just old enough to have been at the tail end of the newsstand and spinner rack era. As a young child, I would shoot over to a newsstand at a train station, grab books.
Hey, Sean. Let's see.
Hey, Sean, thanks for jumping in and joining us.
Gamble pick. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. That is a very good point, Sean. Part of the reason we're doing this is to help build that. You have an entire generation that may never have picked up a comic book, but are very familiar with the characters in the universe.
Oh yeah, they're my youngest godson is a huge fan of Injustice. And he has never had a Batman or Superman comic book in his hand.
There you go.
And I'm like, here, you know what? Read these before you go out into the world, because I don't want you to get laughed at.
You mean the jungle? The wild?
The wild.
That you speak of?
I'm going to throw up a few other things real quick, just in case maybe some people joined us late. They missed it. Primarily the remarks. We can't say enough about these.
We're huge Ken Hazer fans.
Huge Ken Hazer fans.
As we may have demonstrated by the remarks.
This is Scooby Apocalypse #1. This is very cool, like an afterlife, end of the world sort of supernatural apocalypse.
We have one suggested retail is $89.99, and we have this one for $69 tonight. Again, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No. I just kind of want to let people know that this is a little bit. DC started doing Hanna-Barbera stuff. And I guess the first thing they were doing was Future Quest. And then they kind of paired up some of the Hanna-Barbera characters with DC characters, like you would get like Flash and Speed Buggy. And that stuff is just great. If you're from that generation, Hanna-Barbera holds a very special, place in their heart, particularly Johnny Quest.
What do you got there?
Another Ken Hazer remark, The Dark Knight, Batman. I mean, this is arguably the most popular comic book character in the world. Ken's take on him here is, spot on.
Batman 100.
Batman 100.
Signed and remarked with a Batman sketch by Ken Hazer. Tonight we have the one for $80.
That is easily an $80 book.
Which one of these?
Actually, it's a $100 book anywhere else.
Which one of the Silver Ages did we not sell?
There was a Silver Ages one?
I think the 55. We didn't sell the 55, I don't believe. There it is.
Okay.
So, all right. So I think we have.
No. You got it. You got it.
Dude, it's not kryptonite, dude. Touch it. All right. So X-Men number 55. Presumed grade of a 7.5.
Oh no, I've dropped it. No, I haven't. I'm just kidding.
And we have just the one for $140 tonight. So I wanted to throw that up there in case somebody jumped in a little bit later. And the rest of them, let's see. Did we sell the 51? Let me see which ones we sold.
We sold at least 4 of them.
52, 54. And I think we still have the 51. I don't think anybody picked that up. So the 51 is a presumed grade of 5.5.
You better make sure you're not selling somebody's book.
I'm pretty sure. Kind of sure.
We'll have to go back and watch.
I got. I don't have the post-it notes. It's hard for me to tell. So presumed grade of 5.5. We have the one for 50 tonight. So I want to get that out of the way in case anybody is a Silver Age collector that jumped on a little bit later tonight. Let's see. What else we got? That one was taken by Ron. The Spidey. I don't think anybody picked that one up. The remark, the 850.
This is such an Amazing Spider-Man 850. Once again, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Ken is an absolute master of his craft, particularly on this platform, on the remark platform.
And we have the one for 62. What did Sean write? DC Hannah Deadshot. Number 1. Hey, there you go.
Nice.
That's a nice pickup right there.
That's a nice pickup right there.
So what time is it? We got 3 minutes. So you gotta be quick, Peggy.
I gotta be quick.
Gotta be quick.
We're gonna throw this out there one more time. This is a high ticket item. I'm just gonna put this back out here. This is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 1. Blank variant, signed in Scarlet Spider Red by John Romita Sr. This is not for everybody. This is a more serious acquisition for collectors. However,
$699.99.
Yeah.
And that is primarily due to John Romita Sr.'s.
His status in the industry is legendary. You've also got a Ken Hazer sketch, Ken Hazer signature. This is probably, I'm going to say this might be the top of the food chain as far as the remarks we have.
I would agree. Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
John Romita has talked about, doing less, enjoying his life, the fruits of his labor. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've talked about this before. He's a giant in the industry. He's lived long enough to see his son become a giant in the industry. I don't know how much more you can do.
Comic creator royalty.
As my old man used to say, sit on the porch and now you can just enjoy that second cup of coffee. You don't have to slam it and go and run out the door.
Right. What else?
Do we have anything else?
I don't know. I think we covered just about everything. What else do you want to revisit?
We've covered just about everything.
Well, I think we got a minute.
We got a minute, so I'm going to throw this out here again because this is a character that does not get the spotlight it deserves. This is Jennifer Blood. We have Jennifer Blood number 1, Blood Red Retailer.
Oh, no, I think Ron picked that one up.
Oh, did Ron pick that up?
Yep.
Is it the only one we had?
Pay attention, guys.
Yep, that's the only one we have. Put that back.
Oh, okay.
Put that back.
Never mind. Just edit that out.
I think Ron checked out, so he didn't see you do that.
I need a break from all this.
Amy needs a break. We only got a minute. We only got a minute.
So that means I won't be here Wednesday, okay? So
What?
What are you talking about? But John's bringing a porterhouse. Want to remind everybody we'll be back on Wednesday night, 6 to 8, and Friday night for the original art show with Nick and John, 7 to 8, all times are Eastern.
You should absolutely tune in Wednesday to watch Rex and I try to do this without a safety net.
All I know is I'm getting a free porterhouse.
And then tune in on Friday for Nick's sobs.
Yes. Don't forget that. Don't forget the cream spinach. I love cream spinach.
Thank everyone again for joining us. We really appreciate this. Like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends if you're enjoying the show. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're here giving away Nick's books.
Giving away Nick's books, talking about food, making Amy angry. You know, who knows? John/Peggy may dance. Who knows?
Well, Fredo, thanks everyone who joined us again. We will be back on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Have a great night, everybody. JD, take us out.